There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes that her silence has served everyone but her. From the time we are little girls, we're told to be quiet, to not make a scene, to be nice even when it hurts. We're taught that silence is dignity, that patience is power. But the truth is, silence is not peace, it's submission. And when a woman finally decides she will no longer swallow her words, that's the moment she awakens her real power. I've seen it happen. The shy, soft-spoken woman who suddenly speaks her truth and changes everything around her. Her voice might shake the first time, her truth might scare her. But once it's out, there's no going back, because her words hold power. Power to challenge, power to heal, power to create change. The silence that once protected her now feels like a cage, and her voice becomes the key that breaks it open. When women stop being silent, they reclaim ownership of their stories. They stop letting others define them, their worth, their pain, their destiny. They no longer ask for permission to exist loudly. And that's the most powerful transformation, not in the world, but within themselves. Because when a woman chooses her voice, she chooses her freedom. And freedom, once tasted, can never be forgotten. A courage is contagious. When one woman finds her voice, she unknowingly gives hundreds the courage to find theirs. That's the beauty of truth. It spreads. It doesn't stay contained. You see, when a woman stands up and speaks out against injustice, against abuse, against inequality, she doesn't just speak for herself. She becomes a voice for every woman who is told her pain doesn't matter. She becomes an echo that reaches places she's never even think about it. How many movements began with one woman refusing silence? One voice, one story, one act of defiance that rippled across borders and generations. From Malala's voice for education to Rosa Parks' quiet no that changed history, it's always been women who decided enough is enough. Their courage lit fires that burned through centuries of silence. When we see a woman speak up, something inside us stirs. We start believing that maybe we can do it too, that maybe we're not alone, that maybe our voice also matters. And that's the ripple effect. Courage multiplies when shared. So every time you speak, remember you're not just breaking your own silence, you're making it easier for another woman to break hers. And one day, those voices together will sound like thunder, unstoppable and unignorable. Let's face it, the world has never feared silent women. It adores them. It rewards them. It calls them well-behaved, graceful, good. But when a woman begins to speak, really speak, the world grows uncomfortable. Because a speaking woman is a seeing woman. And a seeing woman is dangerous to every system built on her silence. Why? Because truth threatens control. And women's voices carry centuries of truth, truth about inequality, pain, survival, and strength. The moment a woman says, "This happened to me," or "This is not okay," she shakes the foundation of power. Her words expose hypocrisy, challenge traditions, and demand justice. That's why society tells women to calm down or not be emotional. Because they know emotion is power when it's grounded in truth. But here's the beauty. Every time women speak despite the fear, the world has to listen. Even if it resists, even if it attacks, it cannot unhear her. Her words become seeds that grow in other hearts, and that's how revolutions begin. So yes, the world may fear women who speak, but it's time the world learns to live with that fear, because silence was never our nature, it was our training, and now that training no longer works. To when women refuse to stay silent, they do more than change their own lives, they shape the future. Every word a woman dares to speak becomes part of a greater legacy. A legacy where our daughters will no longer be told to lower their voices, to stay quiet, to endure. Instead, they'll grow up seeing women who speak, lead, and rise unapologetically. Think about what kind of world we are building when women tell their truths. A world where survivors find justice, where mothers teach confidence instead of compliance. Where young girls grow up knowing that their opinions are not interruptions, they're contributions. That's the kind of legacy born from courage. Our grandmothers survived in silence. Our mothers endured in whispers. But we are the generation that will roar, because the future doesn't belong to those who stay quiet. It belongs to those who speak with conviction. So let's raise our voices, even when they shake. Let's build a world where no woman ever feels that silence is her only choice. Let's make sure that when history remembers us, it remembers the women who refused to be silenced and changed the world because of it.